going on, everybody? I hope y'all are right today. If you're not all right, I pray that things get better. Truly and wholeheartedly. I want to talk about real quick today, though, how I want to talk about music, the influence that it really have. You know, I grew up in a black culture, so you know all our music, okay. Sipping on some sisters, sipping on some. That was my jam, and I didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, but I want to talk about it because I see that maturity is what makes people realize how music influences us, because people will acknowledge that I listen to this music because it appeals to me or I can relate. But just because you can relate or it appeals to you doesn't mean that it's for you. Okay? A lot of this music really is made to, just like any technology, y'all, they trying to control how we think. So if you constantly putting yourself in a mind state of depression, you listen to only raw wave or zero, I don't know, whatever age group you in, okay? If you constantly listen to the music, yeah, you gonna constantly feel like I ain't got nobody but myself, or you know, all these things. And it makes us believe that we're alone. It makes us believe that this is the only route for us. It makes us believe all these things, including the music about sex. That drives really a lot of. I'm gonna put it like this: some of these women glorify being a hot girl. Baby, you like being a 304 or claiming that title, but let somebody call you that. Y'all gonna be mad, but this is what you glorify. You know, I haven't listened to music in my truck off of the radio. Okay, let me clarify. Off of the radio I started back in, let me see, 2020, 21, 22, back in 23. Because I realized that first of all the music was, y'all don't like y'all music today. Now I really feel like them old people, but I ain't that old. And that's what really made me feel some type of way. But I don't like this music. I don't like what they pushing. You know, they talk about our music back in the day. Yeah, we had some stuff, but y'all, I just feel like it's being pushed out more. Okay? Our R&B music was love. Okay? I got a poem I got right now. Talk about, man, I miss that old school R&B. You hear me? It was actually talk about love. Okay? And even if they was talking about heartbreak, you know, it wasn't to the point that they was trying to get their man or their woman back. Okay? Now everybody like forget you and forget them. I'm one deep, and it drives me insane. It does. But that's why I had to make those changes. Like I said, I've been driving in this truck or my car, depending on what year we talk about, without, like I said, my radio. And if I choose to play music, I'm going to play something that doesn't put me in a bad headspace. I'm not going to play nothing that's going to have me thinking about stuff that, especially if I'm trying to heal. You can't heal, y'all. You cannot heal constantly putting negativity in your body, whether it's something you eat or whether it's something you listen to, whether it's something that you read. What you put in your body is what you put out. Period. So, you know, I remember one time somebody was like, you know, we should like pretty much boycott all this negative music. And I must agree. But guess what black people not gonna do? Stop listening to Young Boy. Stop listening to who else that don't really got a good. It's a lot of them. All Pooh Shiesty, I don't really know the rappers' names no more. It took me a long time to figure out the difference between the Baby and Lil Baby. And that's how much I haven't been giving these negative entities my energy. Okay? So, y'all gonna do what you want to do. I understand. But I just wanted to sit up here and talk about that real quick, because that is a thing that we don't realize. We are, that quote, you are what you eat. You are what you listen to. You are who you hang around. Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, all of those things, all of those cliches is very true. If you trying to heal, you're not going to surround yourself by people that don't want to heal. You might start off there, but then when you realize they just want to keep me here and I want to go over there, you're going to leave that flock and you're going to find a better one. Same thing with music. This right here goes straight in there. And what's in here? That third eye. So if you clouding it, you not feeding it the good things, then you're going to be stuck in this little world where you feel like you can't be the best version of yourself. All right, y'all. I just pulled up home and I need to go see my baby. I miss my child. There's nothing I probably come talk about on another time. But some of y'all don't really be loving y'all kids. And it's sad. Love don't mean what you buy. Love is the time you spend. How you treat that baby. Okay? All right, now, y'all. All right. Peace.